All right, Aquarius. Let's see what we got going for you. We got the root chakra in the third eye. Crown and the sacral. I don't know why I'm pulling you two. Throat and third eye. You're taking more into consideration now what you like. You're speaking from a place of being secure. The way you're speaking secures your foundation, though. Like you're speaking things into existence. When it comes to what you're really desiring now, I think it's more still a concept. It's still being cultivated in that crown. I think you're receiving more information, even about your own nature, about your own way of living. Follow your dreams. Definitely. Definitely. When I say you're manifesting it, you definitely are. What came out first? These three are down. Wow, you got so many. You have patience. And that's what you're having. You're having to have patience with your sacral center when it comes to your creativity. You also have healing here. And I think this is where you're very clearly speaking in a way that is proactive or like affirming, more so more than negating. We do have pride here, and this is what you're having to get in check. The third eye and the heart, the third eye and the root is where that's being worked on here. And this crown energy is helping you do that. Okay. Card at the bottom. Music. It's a rhythmic thing. Like everything has to have its own rhythm. There's shorts, there's breaks, there's these pauses. And I'm thinking quite literally like sheet music. There is a rhythm to this. Rhythm of the night. Okay. Surrender. Very much so. Surrender and pride are mirroring. Self-discipline. Parenting. This is where it comes out. This is where it's visibly seen in your parenting skills. The way you're speaking. That solar plexus energy is not present, not in the stones themselves, but that is the active force. That is a very concerted effort. So there is a rhythm to the way you're speaking, and it's aligning with the things that you're desiring, allowing you to have more patience in what's happening with this pride and surrender. You remember being a kid You remember what it was like, to a certain extent. We're not going to compare you and your children in the same way, but the remedy or the melody that you needed, the rhythm that you needed, is something now that you'll be able to use without you sacrificing your dreams the way your parents may have, or felt that they have, or voiced that they were lacking or without because of it. There's a difference now. If you have no kids, this is a way of undoing something that was done. I see the Two of Cups here. You're on one accord with others. This is quite like giving what was necessary. Giving what was necessary for you, you're now giving it in your environment. This changes the way you consider family, or that you consider your inner child. Because you speaking to others, teaching others, being in the vicinity of people younger than you, or people who can learn from you, you have to also have a receptive ear to receive the message that is coming from your mouth as an omen to yourself. As you have to listen to the rhythm. You have to catch the beat. You're not only the conductor. You're not the only one orchestrating the symphony. You're also appreciating the music, appreciating the rhythm. That parenting you're doing just in the company of friends, in the company of exchange with another, you're providing them something that you to hear, a rhythm that you need to feel, a beat that you're setting the tone, and you need to follow that tone. You want people who are learning from you to follow their dreams, to not give up, to be inspired, and to also have the courage, the ambition to do so. And there are certain things that you need the courage to do ambitiously as well. And you can achieve a whole lot, yes, but when it comes to what you really, really desire, like, you have to be able to voice those too. And I was getting that from the Pisces reading. Knight of Cups. So it's more than it's more than just practical. You're gonna need something on an emotionally fulfilling level as well, that mentally satisfies, this sense of peace, this sense of like equality. The healing card is 66. You have these 2 6s on the board. You know what I mean? So not only it's like giving someone something that helps them heal, but at the same time being on your way to that healing as well. You have the Knight of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, and the 6 of Cups. You gave them something they could use, something practical. But at the same time, you have to be the recipient of it in order to administer it and put it into your own life and put it into practice. That same care and concern that you would give to, someone else is the same way that you have to give to yourself in a parenting type of fashion. Like, this is self-nurturing. Patience. I don't think you have the patience with yourself. You expect so much out of yourself, but others you would be so patient with and have a different aptitude for your expectations when it comes to others. And it's fine to expect a lot of yourself, but you have to be kind. There's so much bursting from the seams that you're capable of doing. But it's like, it's like you don't have the patience for I don't know. Maybe you seem like, maybe it feels too childish, or maybe it's like, you have to be the rock. You have to be the solid one. So you can't express these parts of your creativity, because then it would change the way that you're viewed as the mentor or as the person in charge. It's like, if you take a chance and actually do something creatively that you want to go towards, this is sitting in the middle. So these two are mirrored. It's like something will take a loss or something will take a hit. And it's like, that's counterproductive to you following your dreams, though. And that's ultimately what we're here to do, because it's not just a fancy thought. Your dreams do matter just as much as others do. And so you're in a space to make other people's dreams come true, or for them to follow their dreams and feel encouraged to do so. But what about you? Are you allowing that for yourself? The patience you give other people, do you really give it to yourself? No, you don't. Too much pressure. It's a constriction. Like, there's a cap on your creativity. There's a cap on your self-expression, because you're that go-to for others. And it's like, but I have no choice. I can't be cocky. I can't be selfish. Leo is your opposite. They are in the spotlight. They are seen. They are vocal. Or prominent, I would say. And it's like, you're that behind the scenes kind of, you know what I'm saying? You mind your business. So it's like, even if you're following your dreams, it's like, oh, it's no big deal. I'm just doing a thing. And it's like, but it is a big deal. You deserve it to be a big deal. Even though the attention is not what you're seeking, that's fine. But whatever you do is going to draw attention. And maybe you don't want the spotlight. Maybe you don't want that type of notoriety. It kind of, it's like, following your dreams comes with other unforeseen or uncontrollable energies. And maybe you feel like you would be in high demand or sought after, or be too much responsibility, because it's like, you know, in that moment it'll be a lot asked of you, and then it will become a chore and it'll become a duty, and you won't want to do it. But you are inspiring others. You are someone that others feel safe to come to for these talents, these gifts, these traits, these skills. And you're very good at what you do. But when it comes to giving yourself the chance to go where your heart desires, you're not coming as Knight of Pentacles, and you're not coming as Knight of Cups. You're Knight of Cups for others. You're Knight of Pentacles for others. You're not giving this to yourself. And that's the problem. You feel like people are going to turn into Knight of Swords and, you know, pick apart what you're doing. You know, what's your secret? Like, how do you do it? Or ask you to do more of it. It seems like a demand now. And you got Nine of Wands sitting here like, fuck that. I didn't, you know, it kind of makes you not want to do what you've been doing, because it'll start to feel like it's not your choice anymore. Now it's your obligation. And you don't want to feel obligated to be creative. You just create. And you create from a space that other people don't have access to. This is what makes you so powerful. And surrender the pride, though. You have surrendered. I knew it, though. It will feel like obligation. It'll feel like too heavy of a responsibility. And you've been asked to surrender your pride. But you've surrendered your pride for the wrong thing. You're supposed to take pride in what you're creating, and not diminish the efforts that you've actually been putting in. Give yourself that recognition. It's not too fantastical. It's not too unorthodox that you can't accept your well-deserved rewards and well-deserved acclaim for what you're actually doing. Like, this is a 6 energy as well. This 15 is reduction. As a reduction is a 6. Much like the 6 of Swords and the 6 of Cups here. So in doing this for other people and ushering them towards them following their dreams and giving them that practical encouragement and giving them that inspiration and that blessing, you're denying it for yourself because you feel like it's too prideful or it's too boastful, and it's really causing some issue here. It's like you're being humble where humility and being humble is not being asked of you. 4 of Swords. You don't want to go off the grid on this. Not at this time. That 4 of Cups and 4 of Swords, they're diagonal from each other. And it's like, people may not see you for a while. You're internalizing these thoughts that just don't serve you. They don't suit you, right? You know, it's like this, while people may feel like you're no longer available or you're pulling back or whatever it may be, you're dealing with your own mental conflict, this tug of war between you being all of who you are. It's like you've had to, the analogy I got earlier was not Jack. The little boy, the little fast one from The Incredibles, where he was in the race and he was holding himself back because he knew he could win. He held himself back, and he was so happy to at least get second. And it was like, but you know you could be first. So why are you settling for second? It would cause too much attention, and then people would have questions like, so are you an idiot savant? Or what is your IQ? Or to know that this brilliance is in you and ready to come out is almost a threat to your normalcy. It's almost a threat to your privacy or to your it's like it's drawing too much attention to yourself. When really, I mean, you're hot shit. You're pretty much, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, but it seems like other people don't have that. They don't have that same edge that you have, but a lot of people have taken off with the edge that you've given them. You've given them like a kickoff, and if they propelled themselves forward off of your thought, off your practical application of said thought, off of the encouragement, and they've really gone on to do some pretty powerful things. And you didn't do it for the acclaim, you didn't do it for the attention, and you did not do it because there's no 6 of Wands here. There's no 6 of Wands. There's no 6 of Pentacles. But I very clearly see you giving them something to use, something to do. It's not something you wanted credit for. It's not something that a lot of people know you had a hand in, but you have got people to a specific place. You've gotten them to a specific place and held yourself back as if pride is a negative thing when it isn't. It's not a negative thing, but you have to change your perspective on what pride is. Taking pride in what you've actually done and accomplished. I'm putting that upright. Surrender the idea that you being proud of what you're doing means that you're egotistical. Okay? That would be this. We're going to reverse this. All right? We're going to leave this 7 of Cups in the reverse because that has been a source of contention and a source of confusion when it comes to your acknowledgement of yourself and your attributes. You don't want anybody to think that, you know, because you do something so well, that you're better than them. You cannot control anybody else's thought of you. You can only control your intention. So if you're intending to do the best that you can and displaying that, whether it comes to music, whether it comes to parenting or teaching other people who are in student positions, or even if you're fucking teaching your parents, like you can't control how they are viewing a situation. You can only control your intent for it, doing your thing. And it's what you assign it. It has nothing to do with, you can't control how they're going to feel. You really can't, because your intention was an even give and take. It was an exchange. It is, you found a sense of satisfaction in helping these people, or all along the way. I see it. You've been doing this since you were a kid. You're doing it as an adult. You could be doing it for family members. You could be doing it for friends. You could be doing it for colleagues. You can be doing it for whomever. But there's few and far between acknowledgments coming from others. There are some. And even when it comes from those people, there's a sense of like, oh, it's nothing. Like, you kind of shy away from the acknowledgement. And you shouldn't. It's a well-deserved acclaim. It's well-deserved. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing something great and somebody is actually highlighting that and really just like an appreciation post, an appreciation call, or just telling you how great that you are and have been and influential you have been in their life, accept it without feeling guilty. Why? Why does this plague you so much? Anything else I need to share with Aquarius? Okay, the deck was split after those cards fell out. I see 3 of Cups and King of Cups. You provide a sense of emotional security for others in your friendship group or companions and things like that. And you do rule friendship, so you do have a maturity that others find comfort in. And so I'm really not sure why you allow yourself to be in these spaces of conflict when it comes to what you're deserving. It's like you deprive yourself, and then you feel guilty for accepting, or guilty for the acknowledgement or something. And it's like you abandon the thought or the idea or what really is due you. To be humble, though. So there is a change with this Fool card. New leaves are turning, new pages are turning. You have Temperance and the Moon. And this is where you come face to face with a fear that you didn't even fully acknowledge that you had. You're going to have to nip it in the butt. There is an aspect of you that wants to show out, but not to spite anyone or to show anyone up, but because you're just made of so much stuff and nobody even knows what you're capable of. And because not wanting to be a show off and not wanting to, you're great. But to say you're great would sound cocky or conceited. And that's not what you want. Strength is here. This is your opposite. But also with Temperance, I want you to note that we see the symbol of the sun here. The circle with the dot in the middle. We see the symbol of the sun here. And the sun is also here. 3rd time a charm. 3 times a charm. If I can get my gang signs right. And then we have the moon. So you're coming face to face with what it is that has been that barrier between left and right brain. You're coming into completion between pride and surrender, all the way from your crown chakra to the root. Surrender your pride. But you have. when you shouldn't have. Like, there's a difference between the excess, and I did this. I was in the tub doing a message about the 7 deadly sins and how anything can be taken too far and done in excess, and then it becomes too fucking, it's excessive, right? And patience is temperance. So where people have wrath and rage, and, or, you know what I'm saying, there's a sense of being patient with oneself, or it's not, or even sloth could come to mind. You could be so dutiful with other things, and when it comes to other people, and when it comes to yourself, there's a sense of patience that you have to have while you're allowing your dreams to come to fruition. Because the only reason why they haven't is because you haven't given yourself permission. So surrender the idea that your pride is negative, because it isn't. I feel that you've been humble way too fucking long, and I also feel that you need to speak on it. You do need to be more vocal and showcase that you are a natural, raw talent. Other people will get their props from you, but when you get yours, it's like a withdrawal into the moon itself. And it's like, but we don't have time for that, Temperance says. We don't have time for that. It's not scary. It's not dark. It's not troublesome. And it's not evil. It's what people do with it that makes it seem evil. Like the root of all evil being money. It's not money itself. Money is current. It's currency. It's vibration. It has done a lot of good for people's lives. It's just people with money have done evil shit. That's the difference. People with pride, it depends on what the person with the pride does with it. Hence the strength card. It depends on the person. This could be a person living amongst a lion, being in its presence, feeding it. You have people who have these quote unquote wild beasts and you couldn't tell that damn lion that it wasn't a house cat because of just how nurtured and cared for they've been. So they don't have a sense of, I'm going to kill this human because I see this as a threat. The pride is subdued in a way that it's doing more good than harm. Same way with, if this was a poacher, now we would have a problem. You know what I'm saying? And it would be like, well, damn, that's a problem. That's a real big problem. But this is not. This is saying that you have more patience. You have more control, quiet control over what's been happening. You can allow yourself this time to surrender to your subconscious because there's so much in it. Aquarius is subconscious thought, the stream of thought where people get their ideas from. They tap into a frequency, and that's Aquarius. They're pulling these thoughts down. And I know I've said this for Aquarius before, that 1,000 people could have the same thought because they're tapped into a stream, allowing the consciousness of them to wander and the subconscious to take over just a little, kind of lucidly. And they will all have access to this same thought, which could be an invention, it could be a creation, it could be music, it could be anything. They're all hearing the same sound, or they're seeing the same item, or whatever. But not many people actually act on it or have the capacity to make it practical. Aquariuses are some of those people who can bring that thought down and actually do it. Shit that people have to get high to access. Aquarius, when it comes to thought, concept, and ideas, can reach that stream of thought at will. And when you bring the shit down and you put it into fruition and you make it practical where people can see it, hear it, they're astonished, because it's like, where did you get this creation from? Like, how did you make something, bring a concept down and make it into something like this? You deserve the acclaim. You deserve the award, the reward, the recognition that comes with it. And I know that's difficult for you to do, but you could have been dealing with this since 2017. It's something that you know, something that you thought, something that you want to create. And when the North and South Node was in Leo and Aquarius, and we had that fucking eclipse over the United States, that total solar eclipse in the United States, 2017, in August. Okay. I shit you not. Because I'm getting sun vibes. I don't see the sun here physically. The sun is represented 3 times in this temperance card, because now the fucking South Node is in Sagittarius. And then they go backwards. They're always, if you see the horseshoe, they're always in a state of retrograde. So they go backwards. So the South Node was in Aquarius back then. That's why the Sagittarius is the South Node right now. And next it'll go into Scorpio, and it'll move, the North Node will move to Taurus. This was around that eclipse. This is why Leo is showing up so strongly for you, though. Because this was something you were supposed to have learned, and I think it's taking you this long to actually live it out and implement it. So there is no, it's not as if you're not doing it. It's just, it's taking you a while. But I'm here to reaffirm that it is okay. It's okay. Self-discipline and music. These are both energies of 5. But self-discipline has been all you, kind of trying to hold it down and make everything solid and keep everybody else straight. And this music is a little more fluid. It does bring in this 2 of Cups, 3 of Cups type of vibe. You even have the 3 of Pentacles here. You know what I'm saying? So it is something that you can put into practice. You can learn. You can use. You know you're good at it. Whatever, if you play an instrument, you compose, you sing, you dance, anything musical, anything rhythmic. So it doesn't have to even relate to the art of music itself, but you can administer music to whatever it is you're doing, or music does help you do these things. And to me, that is this moon energy, which would be Pisces, music, but also Leo, the performer. So it helps you perform in a far better way, or it adds some type of edge to what it is you're performing. That, I feel, brings you out of this space. This conflictual energy is diminished. You've been self-disciplining yourself to not even accept this. This would be, you can do this for a group, and you can do this for a person one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? So if you're having to teach somebody something one-on-one, it'll be very intimate, very detailed or whatever. But don't forget that you too need to be a part of the celebration once everything is cultivated. You don't have to be like, damn, missing out on the action, or missing out on the acclaim, missing out on the recognition, the celebration, the congratulations. You don't have to, because you're trying to be fucking humble. And this is what you did when no one else was around and no one else was watching, but you helped somebody else create something and make something brand fucking new that you could bring from a thought form into the practical. You gave them something, made it practical, and they sailed on with this information. They took this shit and ran with it, and it's fine. That's cool. You're doing a service. You're being very, altruistic, and that's fine. Philanthropic. That's cool. But don't forget to give to yourself that same time and permission and room to celebrate your own knowing, like your own accomplishments. You're very much in control. You're very much self-contained, and it's time for you to bust up out that box that nobody put you in. They just don't have a full understanding of what and who you are. the fucking fool. You're a goddamn fool. And that's the reception you may get, but not in the way that you may receive it. There's a difference between being foolish and being a fool. Foolish is risky because they would not consider themselves in a position to take this kind of risk. It would be foolish of them to try. But with this energy, you're very familiar. You know how to use it. They don't. This is why you had to make shit and break it down and make it practical for them so they can use it. So they can do it. Because they're like, damn, I didn't think of that. No, you didn't. Aquarius did. Duh. But when they reap the reward, there's really either they don't give you the acclaim, or when they do give it to you, you shy away from it. So it's like, well, damn. Do I really get the thanks? Do I really get the recognition? Like, do you see me sitting here? But at the same time, it's like, that seems selfish. I shouldn't say that out loud, or I shouldn't confront that, or I shouldn't speak on that, or let them have their shine. You know, everybody will have their turn. Stop playing small with these motherfuckers. Like, you're not going to come out shitting on people and stepping on them, no. But let people give credit where it's due, and when they don't, you can speak in a way where it's like, I know that you know, and you know that I know. And you're welcome. It's just acknowledging what you're made of and what you've done and how you've helped without being humble where you shouldn't be. You very much deserve it to take pride in what you've done. I'm not saying that you're not always accredited for being the source, which you typically are in these circumstances. You are the source of inspiration that people springboard off of and then go on to create these wonderful things, but they never take the time to say or admit that you had something to do with it. And then there are people who do admit to your influence and to how proud they are of who you are and what you produce, and they are very inspired and they speak on it. And it has been something that foundationally you haven't accepted in full, because where it should be coming from, it's not. So this is where the discrepancy comes from, and it has less to do with you not deserving it, though. It's just, you would think that people remember and recognize where you have done good and have done, have given help or have given inspiration. And because it wasn't tangible until you put it in practical terms, and because they're the ones who have made something of it, you feel like they deserve the acclaim, the credit, and whatever it is, because their name is on the final product. When really, you're so instrumental in it, there would be no product without you. So I need you to be you and accept everything that you have done with pride, but not so much proudness, but with honor. Because anybody with integrity would know, with true integrity would know. Give credit where it's due. You are an inspiration to many, and I really appreciate you wrapping up this cycle, these readings. They have come full circle, and I am so glad to have this message delivered right on the tip of Leo season, because if anybody needed to know that it is okay to take pride in what you're doing and to be accepting of what it is you really deserve, be the recipient of the products of your imagination, of your cultivation. Like, you've really brought this into something. You've turned this into something very, very inspirational, magnificent. The impact you've had on so many other people, it is resounding. And if people actually knew all of what you've done and who you've helped, they'd be like, damn, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So people are giving these people praise, but they don't know who inspired them. They need to pay homage just as much as you need to take accountability for your participation. honestly and truly. So I'm going to leave it at that mark right there. This makes me happy. I'll talk to y'all later.